Francis Fox, and I was part of a secret government program for mind expansion since I was a child. And I developed psychic abilities. I was trained as a psychic spy, not my choice, never compensated. But I did choose all of this before I incarnated in order to be able to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is to deliver extra information from the other dimensions. I don't generally do horoscopes in English. Um, because most of what I give astrologically doesn't really generally fall under the realm of astrology. What I do is look at what it is that you need with a wider lens having to do with what's happening galactically, because there's an awful lot going on, and what's happening in other dimensions where there are spirits and all sorts of things that generally are not covered as well with regular astrological readings. Hopefully, you can add this to your regular astrological stream of information, which everyone should have, because the planets are such an important influence on your astral spirit body. Astral spirit body, which is your spirit. Let's start. Let's go with Aries, which is a fire sign. Aries, your head is all tied up in knots. You can't feel very clear-headed. It's interesting how when I do English, like right now, compared to the Spanish, which I did 20 minutes ago, the images are a little bit different. I haven't been able to figure out. Your head is tied in knots here. This is your third eye. This is your crown chakra. You are tied up mainly in your third eye, which is where wisdom is, the ability to see one dimension, other dimensions, the ability to perceive wisdom. And it's all tied up. It's literally tied in a knot here. You should probably go to bed with amethyst stones on your eyes. I would do the Om mantra all day long. Om, and that will give you relief in this area. You need some relief. You're really, really tied up there. Putting your head up against the trunk of a tree is going to help also. But the Om is going to help tremendously. And don't do anything that's mind dulling, because mentally you are tied in a knot, and what you need are things that are mind releasing. I don't know that I'll get into trouble saying this, but in my state, we can take cannabis, and I have a medical card for it. So does half the state. And they have a cannabis that's for sleeping. Turns out that heals your third eye chakra. Did I just recommend that? No, I just gave you a piece of information, Aries. Continuing on to Taurus, which is an earth sign. Here, Taurus, you have a congestion of depression. I don't think your breath can be very full. I think you must feel almost like you have an elephant sitting on top of your chest. Your heart may jump a little bit, and it's because of the volume of astral particles of depression you have here in your heart chakra. So I'm going to give you a mantra. You don't have to believe anything. You should only believe you. But if you do this mantra, you're going to go, darn, I can feel better and I can breathe better. Maybe this is working. And what do I care how it works? It's working. You're not going to die. You're not going to have a heart attack. But definitely this is not letting you be fully expressive of who you are, because I think you're frightened of what you're feeling here. So the mantra is, even though I'm depressed and want to die, I love and accept myself. Now, if this was a Hispanic or European group that I was talking to, I wouldn't have a problem. But being it that you speak mainly English and you're probably very Anglo, there's not enough emphasis put on emotions and their effects on us. You go to work and they say, leave your emotions at the door, which obviously they're not saying anymore, but it never worked. You cannot leave this behind you. You simply have to process it. And the purification mantra I just gave you will do that. You don't need to know why it works, how it works. You don't even need to know who I am. Just do it. Even though I'm depressed and want to die, I love and accept myself. That wanting to die is just an emotion. And it could be transferred from a coworker. It could be from your mother who's very depressed, and it transferred to you. But while it's on you, it's affecting your heart chakra. So do the mantra, okay? And you decide whether it works or not. But I suspect after doing, even though I'm depressed and I want to die, I love and accept myself in silence. You repeat it here, blow out through your mouth. You do it 5 times and then stop and go, how do I feel? You're going to feel better. Keep doing it. Okay, let's continue. Gemini, air sign. I see you here, and then there's a part of you, I guess the second part of you, Geminis are too, like boxing, angry. Um, so there's 2 things going on. One part of you very like this, and the other part is very sedate. So what is it that you need to know? What you need to know is organize yourself and point in one direction. You're not pointed in one direction. You're recycling feelings, and you're not moving forward. So what's your mantra? I'm going to give you an intention mantra. Please, God, help me with my intention. Just use the word progress. Please, God, help me with my intention to progress. Why that word? I don't know. I just give you what it is I get. But it turns out my masters are pretty good, so it should apply. Very simple mantra. Continuing on then to Cancer, which is water. Okay, you're sitting in water. It's about this deep. Water's emotion. That's typical for Cancer, lots of emotion. But you're sitting there. You're not laying in it. And then you stand up, and then you can walk out of the water right over there, and you're just kind of looking at it. You're not doing anything. Okay, 1 foot down, the other foot, go towards the edge, get out of the water. You've got stuff to do. And you're just sitting there kind of wallowing in emotions. Move. You need movement. If you need to sign up for a gym class or walk around the block, promise yourself you walk around the block twice a day, or walk that block twice. Get some movement physically, and it'll help you to get movement in your life and in terms of your projects, Cancer, okay? Continuing on with Leo, which is a fire sign. You have less fire in your solar plexus, which is the garbage can of emotions, chakra, and it also is the place of your personal power. So you're less angry about things where you're not feeling powerful. So I see you have the ability to think again, and you're going, okay, what should I do? That's not a bad place to be, because you've been so overwhelmed with fire and anger and frustration that you haven't been able to think clearly. Hopefully you haven't made any real important decisions. Okay, so what should you do? I think you have to be thoughtful, and I think you need to sit down and do a little bit of writing about how you're feeling and make a list of what you want. Then write a little bit more about how you're feeling, go back to that list of what you want, and I think you're going to find it changes. I think at this point, you need to go back and revisit everything that's important and figure out how you feel about that now, not 6 months ago, today. And then you decide what direction you want to move in. Okay? Continuing on with Virgo, which is an earth sign. Virgos have been through living hell. I have to tell you, what is God preparing you for? I have no idea, but they must be preparing you for something, because you don't usually get this beaten up unless there's a good reason. And it's not because you're dumb. So Virgo, I again, just like when I did the horoscopes in Spanish, I see this image, which I sketched for the previous horoscopes. You are very grounded, Virgo. These are attention units. This is what you're paying attention to, which we can't tell from the sketch. But apparently you've gotten really grounded, which means you're probably pretty miserable, because being awake and aware and grounded today is not easy. This, what you wake up to is like, oh my God, who did this? How are we going to make it through this? but you are grounded. Therefore, when you decide what it is that you want to do, I think you're going to get it, Virgo. Contrary to 6 months ago, 6 years ago, I think you're going to get what it is that you want and what you're looking for. Okay? So anytime you feel afraid that you're so lost that you don't know if you're going to be able to get back to, you don't even know what you're supposed to get back to, then why don't you do the purification mantra that's like a vacuum cleaner? Even though I'm afraid, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid, I love and accept myself. You always repeat it in your head in silence and blow out through your mouth. You're frightened. You have reason to be, but I think that you definitely are in a much better place than you've been for an awful long time. You definitely are primed to land some of your projects. You're not in a bad place, but it cannot feel good. And for that, I'm sorry. For that, you have that mantra, even though I'm afraid. Okay? So I'm giving you your weekly horoscopes that are coming in through all my skills, which are multidimensional. I deal with images, spirits talk to me, I see complete scenarios, I feel stuff, or I'll instantly know something. Any and all of those skills come in when I do anything, basically. Right now, I'm doing the horoscopes. So, and my intention is to help you evolve more gracefully rather than the mess that we humans have been living in what's supposedly a process of evolution. So that's the main focus of the main intention of my horoscopes is to make your spirit process, your astral spirit, which is the part of you that continues to live once your physical body is dead, that part of you be more aligned in terms of your intentions, that part of you be more aligned with your intention to be happy, or that part of you be more in tune with you, because that is you, that's your spirit. And we don't really, most of the time, have enough contact with that part of us, which is a part of us that will continue to live after we die. And we're very unfamiliar. We don't take care of it. The horoscopes will help you, the kind of horoscopes that we give. But let's continue. We're going to go with Libra now, which is an air sign. Libra. You're outside of your home. You're where the car is. Here's your home. Here's your car. And you're on this side. You're not the side of the car near the home. You're in the driver's side, even further away from the home. And you're just standing there. You're not getting in the car. You're not going back to the house. You're not calling anybody on the phone. You're not doing anything. You're simply standing there. So you probably feel like you're stuck. You are stuck, but you're the person that's stuck. There's a home there. You could walk in the door. There's a car there. You could open the car door, get in it, and drive where you want to go. You're not doing anything. Maybe that's what you need to do right now. Nothing. I think other people around you are making decisions that are going to affect you, and it's not that they're going to control you, but maybe you need to see what it is that they're going to decide. And then you can decide whether you want to go back into the home or you're going to get in the car and drive off. I have no idea. I'm giving you what it is that I get. If you want to do a mantra, please God help me with my intention to be patient, because apparently you've been wanting a change for a while, except you haven't known what you want. So why make a change if you don't know where you want to go? Good thinking. Try that mantra. It might help you to be patient a little bit longer. Scorpio is the next sign, and it is a water sign. You are so angry that I would be afraid of being your enemy today and being locked in the same room with you. That is how angry you are. And you are looking at mastermind manipulation on someone else's part to position you in a place where you're now and you don't want to be. And you finally sat down to say, how did I get here? And you didn't like the answers. You didn't choose to be there. You got positioned to be there. I think a lot of people are going to have a very rough wake-up call, and it's not going to be you. You already had the rough wake-up. How are you going to handle this? Because it's going to affect a lot of people. I would suggest this mantra. Please, God, help me with my intention to do this gracefully. Please, God, help me with my intention to do this gracefully. Scorpio, very interesting. No guns, please. No beating up anybody. Just do what you need to do for you. Forget about making them pay. Just get yourself taken care of. Okay, Scorpio? Sagittarius is a fire sign. You're much better than you have been for a long time. The problem is you woke up in the middle of a lot of messes, which are yours. You live, you decided, it happened to you, whatever. And you're still not moving enough, but at least your head is more clear as to what you don't want and what you would like if you had the guts to admit to it. You don't. Okay, so don't admit to it. Mantra, please God help me with my intention to let them know. Please God help me with my intention to let them know. Know what? I don't know. You should know. It's your life, Sagittarius. Have you played so many games with so many people about what you really want, what you really think, what you're going to do, what your plans are? Have you played so many games that you yourself don't know? Maybe. So you need to look at that, okay? Because it's not fair to give everybody and everything out there information that's not accurate and then not be happy when they don't support you in what you want. Did you even remember to tell them what you wanted? No. You wanted them to figure it out and to say, hey, how about this? And then you'd go, oh, great idea. I'll do that. Master of your destiny? You know what? You're being victimized by your need for nobody to know what you're thinking or know what you want or know your truth. You are now victimized by that. So maybe you need to look at changing that. And you probably should look at, why is it that you're afraid for people to know this about you? How can they possibly support you? There's a reason. And of course, it goes back to childhood. It actually goes back to when you were 17 years old. So now a lot of you are going to go, come on, Francis, everybody who's a Sag, when they were 17, something happened to them that set them back. I'm giving you the information I'm getting. Why don't you go to your life, Sagittarius, and see what happened when you were 17 that would have set you back in terms of expecting cooperation from the people around you, expecting support. What happened? And then do a mantra to clear that, which would be, please God help me with my intention to heal that trauma. And you don't know what the trauma is, you don't need to know. It's that trauma when you were 17 that has set you up to where you don't communicate what you need so people can't help you. That's clear. Continuing. Capricorn, earth sign. You are definitely doing really good things having to do with beautifying yourself, having to do with other people. You're making changes to making yourself more pleasant to be with, more attractive to be with. I'm not going to say more fun to be with, but you're definitely working on getting yourself to be more attractive, and not necessarily like physical, like, oh God, he's gorgeous, she's beautiful. There's something going on that's really good, having to do with your inner self, not your outer self. This is good. I'm not going to give you any other mantras. I'm not asking for any more information. That's enough. You're in a good place. You're setting yourself up for very nice relationships. And you're going to be giving people the best part of you. Okay? Rather than the tough part of you. This is good. Aquarius, air sign. A lot of people think it's water. It's not. Aquarius. You know what? Honestly, Aquarius are the most evolved of all 12 signs. They're the most, they can think the most. I'm going to be terrible and tell you, you guys are boring, having to do with your life, not intellectual conversations. You've needed change forever and you're not doing anything. You just, and then you blame other people. How about applying your intelligence to your life? That's the problem, because you have intellectual intelligence. Nobody does better than you, but there's emotional intelligence. because your spirit astral body is composed of emotional particles. You are not winning any prizes, Aquarius, when it comes to your emotional life. And by the way, the only reason why humans are alive is because of their emotional life. Your spirit is your emotional life. You don't know anything about it. You're like in kindergarten. You don't know what you want. You don't understand why other people want what they want. You know what? You need to train yourself and you need to educate yourself. Your mantra should be, please God, help me with my intention to understand emotionally, because you don't get it. That's an ongoing Aquarius issue. But let's get it cleaned up now, because it looks like you need change badly. And if you really don't know what you want, how the hell are you going to get, excuse the bad word, how are you going to get what you want? Where are you going to end up if you don't know where you want to go? You're going to end up exactly where you're at now, complaining about where you're at and wanting to actually blame other people for where you're at. Let's continue with the last sign, which is Pisces, which is a water sign, the most evolved of them all. You're ready to trolley. You don't have your bags packed. You have those little wagons that you give little kids when they're like 3 or 4 years old. You give them this little red wagon with this handle and they put all this stuff on it and they go, you have this red wagon and all your belongings are on top of it. In other words, you're going to get down to basics and you're leaving. What are you leaving? I don't know, but you're leaving. And you look all right with it. You look like you're okay with it. So apparently this was a long time in coming, Pisces. Mantra? You don't want a mantra. You know what you're saying to me? Your spirit's saying to me, I don't care. I don't care what other people feel. I don't care what other people are thinking. I don't care. Pisces, that is really good, because normally you would be cringing thinking about how you're upsetting people by going after what you want. I don't see that. You're going to be going after what you want, not what other people want for you to have. Congratulations, Pisces. It's about time. This is a lot of lifetimes of dedicating yourself to others. Okay. I'm Francis Fox, born in Germany, Cuban father, German mother. I consider myself Cuban. I'm on Twitter, and I'm going to put these horoscopes on Twitter. We'll see what the reaction is, because my filters to what it is that I do, that I learned with scientists and with military, is very different from many people who do astrology. I'm not better than them. I'm covering a different aspect of it, which basically is your astral body. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to have a car accident, because that's about your physical body. And that might be important for you astrally. But I will tell you that you're so unhappy that you're setting up a car accident because you either want to die or you want to end up a little bit disabled so you don't have to keep working so hard. So it would be a car accident that I would tell you why your spirit might be setting you up for that. That is power. Just to simply tell you, watch out, you may have a car accident. That is not power. That's information, but it leaves you not in the driver's seat. So if you like what we're giving, we're going to try to do this every week, but please leave some comments, because if not, it sounds like I'm speaking to no one. Okay? See you next week. Bye.